Hi everybody, today I'm going to make some meat chips and I'm going to use my new manual slicer and compare that to my electric slicer. I'm Anita from Ketogenic Woman, where I show you how I lost 145 pounds following an animal-based ketogenic diet. Before we get started, I want to take this moment to thank Element for sponsoring today's video. What is Element? It is a super tasty electrolyte drink with a science-backed formula of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I've been using it now for a couple of years to control my leg cramps at night and also to help with my hydration. So right now, Element is offering to my viewers this 8 flavor sample pack, which you can get with any purchase from their website. Go to drinkelement.com/ketogenic woman. That's DRINKLMNT.com/ketogenic woman. This package will be added to your cart automatically as soon as you put something in it. You can take Element hot or cold. These days I am enjoying the unflavored. I'm trying to stay strict with my carnivore program, but many people do love the flavors, which you'll get to try with the sample pack. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video today. Okay, let's get to unboxing that new meat slicer so you can see what was involved there. Okay, so this is everything that came with the new meat slicer. We have an instruction card, an extra knife blade. It came with a whole bunch of miscellaneous things like plastic bags. I think the replacement knobs are probably a good idea. Came with a meat gripper. It's also covered with this blue plastic film. So that was kind of the first thing I had to do, was unscrew everything and remove all the plastic. And it was surprisingly easy. No tools were required. I was able to get everything off easily. Give it a little wash and then get everything back on quite easily. I measured the distance top and bottom so that when I put the guide on, it was the same both places. The blade is super sharp, just so be careful about that. We're ready to go. Okay, so I want to make ground beef chips. And I have made them recently on YouTube, but I had to go through this whole thing of rolling out the ground beef and making sheets and all that other stuff. I'm hoping to avoid that by slicing up the chub. You know, like just make the chips right from the round chub. So, but I have now this new manual meat slicer. It kind of is like a paper cutter. It reminds me of an old-fashioned paper cutter. What I want to do is I want to use both my meat slicers, the manual one and the electric one, and see which one I like the best for this particular job. I will do this in the future with other types of meat chips as well, but the ground beef one is the one I specifically wanted to try. So let's get started. I have my dehydrator heating up behind me here. It's ready to take a tray of meat slices. They're frozen. I took them out of the freezer about an hour ago. I'm hoping that's enough. I have no idea. And so let's get started. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit, give me some room. I'm cutting back a little bit of the plastic. These are very cold to hang on to, and in the instructions that came with this, they suggested using a glove or this. I feel like the glove might be easier, but I'm not sure. I'll try both and see what happens. But first, I don't want to get any plastic in here. This is an adjustable thickness. You just use these thumb screws. I used a ruler to make sure that the top and the bottom of this were the same. I want it quite thin for these ground beef chips. And so I have set it to 3 millimeters. It's under 1/8 of an inch, or about 1/8 of an inch. So let's see. This is the first time I'm using this, so honestly, I have no idea. Well, let's see what this looks like. Oh, I mean, all we can do is try, right? Okay.
Well, that is too thin, too small, too thin, too small, I think.
Or okay, so I've made a couple of practice cuts, and you know, I have this here. I ended up making it not as thin because the ground beef doesn't cut as well. I think it would work for a roast, but the ground beef kind of crumbles. So I'm gonna try. So I've got it at about 3/16 of an inch, and we're gonna give this a try. You have to tighten these up to make sure this is firm in there. I'm gonna put a glove on because it's really cold to hang on to with your hands. And just really lean right into it. There. So yeah, I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I don't know if that one will be any better, but I'm just trying to avoid all the work. I'm trying to avoid all the work of rolling out the ground beef, cutting it into chips, putting it in there. So that's what the goal here is. This is a nice sharp blade though. So if you put the blade halfway down and then push your meat into it, then that's what you have to do. You have to like sort of go back and forth. So let's do another cut. I want to get this done before this thaws out, so we'll move it back. This is gonna be great for roasts and stuff. I'm worried that those pieces might be a little thick, but I don't know. Or they might be perfect, I'm not sure. I know that they will flatten out as they warm up a bit. They are frozen right now. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is this unit has suction cups on the bottom, and that is meant to stick to your counter, but I have this wooden counter, and so it wasn't sticking at all. And now I can see it's not really sticking that well. I was hoping it would stick to this. So that's an issue too. If I wasn't doing this on the video, I would take it over to my counter and do it. It would stick there. So just want to make sure that you know that. Okay, I'm going to put this first tray in, and then I'm going to actually try to make this a little thinner, and we'll see how that goes. But for now, I want to salt this and get it in there. Okay, get our first tray going here. I have the dehydrator set to 165, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but I just plan to let it go all day today and into the evening until they're crispy. Okay, so look at how those have flattened out. I'm gonna put this machine aside. I'll give it a clean in a few minutes. Okay, so I've got the electric one now set up here. The manual one, I'll be washing that in a few minutes. Or maybe if this doesn't work, I'll bring that one back and finish up my trays with the other one. I have no idea. I'm gonna do a test cut. I've got the other chub in here now. So here we go. This is looking about the same. I have it set, I guess, fairly thin here. Those look a little bit thinner than what I have there. I need a rack. Okay, we've got all 6 trays are loaded up in here. This is going to be for a gathering I'm going to on Saturday afternoon. This will go all day today, and I'll show a picture of them later, but I mean, no matter which slicer I use, they're all a nice uniform round slice. Some are just a little slightly, the first few are a little slightly thicker. So that's that. As far as these two slicers go, for ground beef, I give this one the win. The electric slicer was way easier. I found that this one, I don't know if it's just me or like I just wasn't able to get the smooth cuts at a very thin slice. I had to go a little thicker. Maybe that's okay. So I'm gonna see how these chips all turn out. But I like that I was able to get faster, smoother cuts on the electric and as thin as I wanted, pretty much. So this one has the edge for the, for ground beef anyways. I do want to repeat this experiment with a lean roast, like a sirloin or something. So when roasts go on sale, I'm gonna get 2 small roasts and make some beef chips out of those. Or maybe even I'll do it with brisket, I don't know. So that's coming. I also wanted to say that these are both quite easy to clean. Obviously now I'm gonna have to clean 2 meat slicers instead of just 1, but most of the parts that come apart, I put at the top of the dishwasher tray. Everything else I'll have to hand wash. Although I think this pretty much all comes apart. So this one might be easier to clean than this, although I don't find it hard to clean. Let's just talk about cost for a minute. Both of these I would consider to be budget friendly. This one, now I'm in Canada, things just cost more. I have seen on Amazon.com, I've seen this one go as low as $59 or $69 around Prime days. I paid $99 for it on sale here in Canada, where it was normally $129 or something like that. This was over a year ago, I believe. So it is a budget model, and it's not for power users. For something, the occasional meat chips, this gets 2 thumbs up for me because for the times that I need it, it works. This one is even less money. This is, I paid 49 Canadian. I've seen it for 29, 39 on Amazon.com. Wait for a Prime Day sale or something. These are both linked down below so that you can take a look at them. This one, I don't want to give sort of a 2 thumbs up recommendation quite yet until I am able to try out some more chips on it using roasts and other cuts of meat. As far as the ground beef, I think I'd pull this one out instead of this one. So. Okay, here we are the next morning. I really wanted to show you these chips, not in just a picture, but to actually say something about them, because whether I did the ones with the electric slicer, which is these, or the manual slicer, which is this plate here, they turned out great. I absolutely love how easy it was that I did not have to roll out all those sheets of hamburger. They're all uniform, and even the ones that I struggled with in the beginning on the manual slicer are uniform. They're even because you're using the same size slicer each time, and they're crisp. The thing with the electric meat slicer crackers is I was able to get them so thin that you can see light through them, whereas these ones you can't. That doesn't make, these ones lesser, although I prefer to serve these ones to company. So I'm taking these tomorrow with me to my potluck carnivore meetup. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put on them yet, but and these the dogs and I will enjoy here at home. The one other thing I wanted to mention that I didn't know about yesterday, because it was my first time cleaning the new meat slicer. The manual meat slicer is super easy. All those screws can come apart. You don't need special tools. I just untwisted them with my hands, and I took off the feet, the rubber feet, which are also super easy to take off, and I threw the whole thing in my dishwasher because everything else was the metal that it's made from, and it came out perfectly clean. So I now have 2 clean meat slicers, and I will definitely pull out either of them, probably the electric one for ground beef chips, and I am going to repeat the experiment with some roast to see which one I like better for that. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Stand up a little straighter. Okay, I'll pull. Recorded. Hi everybody, today I'm going to make some meat chips where I show, no, that was wrong. Let's give it a whirl.